Today's our workshop is one end-to-end application we can see. So React, I want to use as like a front end, and my node with Nest. Okay, node with Express is there now. Same like this node with NestJS, Nest, as like a backend, and MongoDB is like a database. Okay, so one simple registration form we can take. You can build one form in React. Whenever you click on the register button, you can send a request to your node application, which you created one endpoint node with the Nest. My node application is talk with MongoDB and save your data. So this is our simply one end-to-end application we are going to discuss. And the same tomorrow, React we can replace with Angular. Node with Nest we replace with the Fast API Python. MongoDB is our database. MongoDB is our database. Understood? Okay, so first, if you want to start with this, first you have to create one React application and one Node application, and MongoDB should up and run. Okay, let's create the React application. So if you want to create the React application, okay, just you no need to create like manually, right? We have some commands. Just I prefer like a read command. So react.dev, this is our official website. Just click on the learn React, and here there is an installation section is there. Here create React app. There has multiple ways by using NestJS. You can do it. Next React router, mobile application is like Expo. If you want to create one React application from scratch, click on this. Okay. Now you can come here. See, there has one command, wait. By using that one, you can create your React application, the template. By using wait command, we can create any kind of applications. My template is like React with TypeScript. Just you can use this, copy, and go to your workspace folder. My workspace folder is this one. Now come here, new folder, end-to-end application. Inside this, let's open the command prompt and let's run this. Let's run this. Okay, it's going to ask some questions, just you can. So first you can create your React application using this. The next one is like, I want to create node with Nest. If you want to create the node with Nest or Express, whatever it is, Express multiple times we used, so that I want to go with NestJS. Anyone have an idea on Angular? If you have an idea on Angular, the same commands, same kind of commands, okay, similar kind of commands we are going to use here in the NestJS if you want to create your NestJS application. So first of all, if you want to create the NestJS application first, okay, your NestJS CLI you have to install. What is that one? You know, npm install -g @NestJS @nest CLI. NestJS CLI. If it is like an Angular tomorrow, npm install -g @Angular CLI. So similar kind of structure also, application structure also same like Angular only. Same like Angular only, the NestJS structure. Okay. So once you run this one in your command prompt, Nest is available in your machine. Okay, so let's open the command prompt. Okay, just run this one. Meanwhile, come back here. Now, just you can say, click on enter. Now installing the dependencies, creating your front-end application. Okay, just wait. Now see, my NestJS application, NestJS, Nest CLI is installing. Nest CLI is installing at not application level. G for global. System level you are installing. Okay. See, these two are like, it is not related your functionality. Just I need a React application basic skeleton. This is the command. I need node with nest basic skeleton. That is possible using nest CLI. So first nest CLI, make it available in my mission, and then just I want to create nest application. To perform these operations in your mission, node software should install first. Install node software. If it is not there, just install node software, then only my package manager is available, otherwise not. Now come here. Yes, my CLI is ready. So go to the desktop, go to the workshop, go to the end to end. Now here you can create your nest application. So how we can create nest? Okay, new. Okay, same like Angular only. Ng new we are using here. Nest new, your application name. Any application name you can put it. My server app. Just click on enter. Now the Nest.js basic skeleton. Nest.js basic skeleton application is going to create in your folder. What is my folder? Okay, my app is like a client application. Now it is going to create one more application for server application. Just take some time, just hold. These are the package managers: npm, yarn, npm. Let's go with the npm. Okay, now my nest application is like creating. It's a backend application. Now once it is done, let's open our workspace folder in our VS Code. Okay. Yeah. So my client application is running. My client application is running. So this is my client application. Now say this. My client application is running. Sorry. Just wait. Now you can take the requirement. Just simply one user registration form you can take. Okay, it's a client application. Okay, name, email, okay, password. For example, this is the one. Finally, we have the register button. Register button. Whenever I click on the register button, one request go to where? To my NestJS application or not? One of the endpoint in the NestJS. Now my NestJS talk with whom? My NestJS talk with whom? Talk with your MongoDB database. Okay, there, okay, your data supposed to be saved. Data supposed to be saved. This is my application flow. Okay, na? Now see, my client application is running or not? My client application is running. Yes or no? Now, what about my server application? Is it second?
With VAT.
Yeah. Tell me.
Is this a kind of framework or with an Angular?
It's like one of the service provider. Okay, it is provides you the basic skeleton. Okay, they introduced like view. Okay, library is there, right? Vue.js,
Yes.
Vue.js. Okay, those people provides you like the basic skeleton of different. Okay,
Okay,
this
sir.
is not related to React or something. That basic skeleton is going to provides you the basic skeleton of application.
Sir, what is the difference between normally we will create like npm create React tab and this one? What is the difference, exact difference between this white and
Okay, see, npm create React app, that is like given by, okay, React people only. Okay, they provide, okay, in the React. See, there has, our goal is like create an application. There has multiple people provide this service. Okay, one of the service is like given by the React.js core React people, only for React application to create React app. But React people only said like create React app, don't use it. That is we deprecated. Now onwards they suggested, okay, either you can go with the weight, or either you can go with the some of the what I can say, Next.js. It's like a full stack frameworks they suggested. Instead of go with the, see, there is a full stack frameworks are there, right?
yes,
Using
yes.
Next.js, using React router or Expo, it is for native. The same React people in the past they suggested like create React app. Okay,
Yes.
but they said now it's like deprecated. Some extra user somebody given, then that time they are going to tie up with them. Okay, they can allow them to use it, allow the users to use that one. Got my point?
Ah, yes, got it.
Yeah, create React app. It's a kind of only for create an application. But Vue, okay, this Vue app, not only React, we can create any kind of templates. Vue.js also we can create. Okay,
Okay, got it.
now come to our client application is ready, and our server application also ready. If you have a knowledge in Angular, it is similar kind of structure. Similar kind of structure. See, there is controllers or there, services or there, modules or there, and spec.ts. It's a kind of writing the test cases. Everything is like Angular skeleton only. Tomorrow, okay, you can come to know the Angular application, right? How to create. Okay, then you can compare the Nest and Angular. Both are like similar kind of structure. Okay, okay, then now let's start with the React. Just create one form, okay, ready with the data. Whenever you click on this button, up to here you can complete. Whenever you click on the button, now you have to send the request to the server. Then that time in the next JS, one endpoint is required for us or not. Yes or no? Okay, now come to the React application. Tell me, in my React application, my application is going to start from here. This is our root component. Let's go to the root component. This is the basic code already they written. I don't want this code what they written. I want to create our own template as per our business requirement or not. Yes or no? Got my point? So now nothing is there. Now nothing is there. As per our requirement, just I want to create one form. So shall we create one folder called as a, for example, user registration. This is like a user. In this folder, I want to create one file for my component, and I want to create one file for my CSS, and I want to create one file to export my component. Basically, this is the structure we are going to use it. So let's create one component. Okay, this is my React component whose type is like, okay, a functional component, so that just you can use the type. Why? Because I'm using TypeScript. Okay, now any CSS if you want to write, you can use module CSS. There has multiple ways you can apply the CSS in React. One is like normal direct CSS file you can use. Another one is like module CSS use. Another one is like module SCSS you can use. Okay, another one is like styled components you can use. Different ways are there. Most of the times we can prefer module CSS or SCSS. Okay. Now, if you want to use module CSS, okay, you can import from whatever the module CSS you have, the CSS you can import and you can use it if you want, okay, done. Now, this component I want to export from index.ts. So import user component, import user component, import user. Where is my user? This is the one. Okay. At the same time, I want to export from here only. This is JavaScript modules concept. If you have an idea, it is simple. Now this users component I want to use in my app.tsx. So how you can get it? Now just you can get the user component. Done. Now if you observe here, now the user component loaded or not? Yes or no? Now in the user component, what you needed in the user component, this is the CSS they created, I don't want. And this is the CSS they created, I don't want. Done. Now in the user component, what you want me to place? I want one form. So for that, I want to use like a bootstrap. So far, if you observe my React application using which libraries, if you see React to React DOM, there has some dev dependencies using in the development mode. We are using these dependencies. I want to use Bootstrap also, so that let me install the Bootstrap library. So install it. CD my application. This is the client application. npm install Bootstrap. npm install Bootstrap. Okay, now see my Bootstrap installed or not. Okay, done. Now I want to load that Bootstrap. So let's go to the main. Okay, here I want to load my Bootstrap CSS. Now I can use the Bootstrap features. Why we go for Bootstrap? Just it is used for what purpose? For responsive web designing purpose, we are going to use Bootstrap. Understood? Okay. Now come here, my class name equals to, okay, container fluid. Because anytime if you use like a row, you may get like horizontal scroll. To avoid that horizontal scroll, you can use container fluid. If you want to learn more something about Bootstrap, I will share you the link about the Bootstrap, just you can walk through. Okay, done. Next, what is the next step? The next step is what? Anyone guess? Come on, what is the next step?
We have to create the form.
You have to create the form, right? This is our form, right? Simple form. Okay, I don't want to introduce the validation cell. Okay, you can learn if you want to learn about the validations also. Simply you can go to the Kalam schools high level. You want to learn the validations. Let's go to the React. Okay, somewhere you can find login. Yeah, login page is there, right? Now, if you come here, I can now say if I click on the login, if you remove this one, now see, please enter user ID, something like this validations. Okay, another way also there. Okay, not only please enter user ID. If I enter user ID, that is gone. But my user ID should be in the email format. Then that time, see, this kind of validations also required. See, now if you come here in the right test, if nothing is there, please enter value. If you do something, should be in the email format. This kind of validations also we can introduce in our React sessions. Okay, let's leave that one for now. Now come here. Let me create a form with how many fields? Name, email, password. Just you can create the form. First, I need like one row. This is like Bootstrap. Okay, inside the row I want, okay, for my label, what is my label? Is a name. I want to give row contains 12 columns. My class name equals to call sm 5 columns. I want to give it to my label. And the next one is like call sm 3 columns. I want to give it for my text box. 3 columns I want to give it for my text box. Done? Is it okay? Like this, how many rows you required? Like this, how many rows you required? There has 3 rows required, right? One more row here, email, and the next one is like what? Here, password is required. Yes or no? My input type equals to, okay, email. Here, my password input type equals to password. Done. There has 3 rows created. Now let's go back our application, 3 rows created or not. I want to apply some bootstrap related CSS for look and feel. Class name equals to one of the class called as a form control. You can here also same class, okay, form control. Here also same class, you can use it. Here also same class. Now somewhat looks like this. These labels I want in the right side, so that I want one of the bootstrap class called as a text end. So use that bootstrap class so that those are come to the right side. Those are come to the right side. So I want gap between one row to another row. For that, margin bottom I want to give like 3, margin bottom 3. These all are like bootstrap classes. Okay, na? Now see my rows. I want an heading. I want heading. Now here h3, okay, user information. I want to give some margin bottom 3 and margin top 3, somewhat like this I want. And at the same time, okay, at the same time I want the center, text center is the one. I want text center. Done? Agreed? Is it okay? Come on. Everything is okay? Okay or not, everyone?
Okay.
Now the next one is like what? One button is required or not? We needed like one button. We needed like one button. Okay. Now in that button, what kind of code you have to write? In that button, what kind of code you have to write? If I click on the button, what code you want me to write? Tell me. If I click on the button, what code you want me to write? In general, tell me. I need a button here. If I click on the button, what code you want me to write?
It should take the form data, whatever is available.
Yeah, you have to take the form data, right? So this is my row. I want one in the center. Class name equals to call sm12 text center. Cut this one. Now you can paste here. Okay, just I want to make it like center. If I click on the button, you have to take this data and you have to give this data to my node with the Nest application or not. Yes or no? First, can we ready with this data? Can we ready with this data? Now tell me how we can take the form data in your React application. There has 2 types of components you can usually controlled, uncontrolled. If you want to control the form data with React, okay, then you can go with the use state, right? Okay, on change event you can use, and with use state. If you want with something like DOM reference, if you want to take and get the values, you can go with use ref hook or not. Just you can go with the use state. Whenever you do the change in the text box or email or password, I want to listen those changes. How we can listen those changes? By using which event we can listen on changes the event handle change. Now tell me, in React, any event you trigger, that event handler called by passing how many parameters? That event handler called by passing how many parameters? Come on. Any event you trigger, that event handler called by passing how many parameters?
One.
One parameter. What is that parameter?
Even
Event.
Event object. It is an object of which class? Synthetic base event class or not? So the event handler called by passing one parameter. What is that parameter type? In React, it is like a which event you triggered, change event. Okay, HTML input element, on which element you triggered, okay, that element related information you can get it. So this is in React, it's a TypeScript, okay, type of your event object. It's a type of your event object or not. It's a type of your event object. Yes or no? Got my point?
Yes.
Up here, okay. So anyone have any questions so far? Now what next? You have an event, means the event triggered on which element, that information you can get it. So with that event, what you want me to get? Come on. I want to get name, email, password. Whenever you click on the register button, these three fields information I want to send it to server application or not. So you are like a full stack engineer. Okay, there is no dependency on the server side guy. So that in which format you want to send the data, you decide. Just I want to send the data in the JSON. So that I want to create one JSON object with this data, with which keys, name, email, password as like a keys or not. Yes or no? So can I create one state variable? So constant, my data, my set data. Now this is my user state. By default, name, email, password is like empty. I want to give the type also for this. What is the type? How we can give the type? I want to mention one interface. Okay, user data, whose type is like what? My name is like string and my email is like string and my password is like string. Now the type is like my user data or not. Yes or no? It's a TypeScript. Now I want to set the data. So how we can set the data? From the event, you can get my event.target means element, the event triggered on which element I can get that element or not. From the element I want to take name value. So how we can take it? My name equals to, what is this? Name equals to name. Name equals to name. The value is data.name. Yes or no? By default, what is my value? Empty. Here, what is the name? My name equals to email. My name equals to email, and my value equals to data dot come on, email or not. The next one is like name equals to password, value equals to data.password. Yes or no? Okay. Now you have the name and you have the value. Event.target is nothing but your element object. You can destruct from that object name and value. Once you have the name and value, I want to set the data. So how we can set the data? Set data, previous data I don't want to override. So that I want the previous data and my new property. So how we can? I set data. Okay, simply you can write a spread operator and you can add name and value or not. Done. Now you have the data or not? Now you have the data. What next? Tell me. What next? Now, whenever you click on this particular button, I want to send a request to the server application or not. So on click, next, come on click here, handle, click,
Submit.
handle click, or handle submit. Now, can you come here? What you have to do? Constant handle click. Done. I want to send a request to the server. If you want to send a request to the server, what inputs are required? If you want to send a request to the server, what inputs are required as a client-side developer? One is like
URL.
another one is like method, another one is like my data format. Yes or no? My data format. Okay, the data is like in which format you want me to send, like a query parameters, a path parameters, a request headers, a request body. Now the data format is required. Yes sir, you only the server side guy, no problem at all. So you have the URL and method and data format also. Then how many ways we can send the request to the server? One is like using XHR, XML HTTP request. It's a JavaScript functional class. The next one is like fetch. It's a fetch. It's a
Java's API.
okay, JavaScript, one of the predefined function. The next one is like anxious. Yes or no? Any one of this one you can use it. Okay, most of the times we can go with the anxious. Now just you can write like anxious is the third party library, so you can install anxious cd in our application. You can install it. My app npm install anxious is the one. Now this kind of requirement, if you have, the request method is what? Come on, guess now onwards.
Post.
Yeah,
Post.
you are inserting a new data means as a backend developer, which request method you prefer to perform this operation on the DB, post or not? So my anxious dot post is the method, and here it is my URL. The next one is what? Your data or not? Yes or no? Now can I get the anxious first? Import. Anxious is the one. Oh, anxious is the one. Done. Okay, what next? What next? Anxious.post. Okay, this one, okay, you have to get it from backend developer. You want the backend developer, we not yet created, we can create. Anxious.post returns me what? What is the return type of my anxious.post?
Problem.
It's a promise object. If you have a promise object, how many ways we can get the data from the promise object? Two ways. One is like using
Then
promise class methods like then catch finally. The another one is like there has one keyword is there. Yeah, wait, is the keyword or not? Okay, your wish, which one you want me to go. So if you want to go with then, okay, so then return type is what? Promise object, so that you can call one more method. Catch return type is what?
Failure response.
Okay. Return type I'm asking, promise object. So you can call one more method also or not. Yes or no. Understood? Now, might then take which data from the promise object? Success data. How one function, then is a method, right? How one method or a function give the data back to you? One is like through promise, okay, through return. Another one is like through callback. But here already written value like promise object. I don't want promise object. I want promise object contains result. That result I want. So return value will not work out. So you can give the callback. This callback call by passing what? Your success data or not. Yes or no? Okay. At this moment, I don't know. Just you can put like, okay. Now catch. This is take which kind of data from the promise object. Now it is like a failure data. That failure data you can use here. What about the finally? Finally, it is not take any success or failure. Okay. Now this one cleanup operations. Can anyone tell me one simple scenario in this case? Finally, what kind of code you want me to write? Come on.
The code we want always execute that block. So
Yeah, give me scenario. That's okay. Give me the scenario.
So like if there is a toaster
Yeah.
of success or error, we need to close it.
Yeah, that is not a toaster, loader. Whenever you click on the handle click button, yes or no, handle click, now you show in loader. Either successfully completed or failure, my loader should disable or not. Yes or no. So that kind of you can write in the finally or not. Done. Up to you, okay?
Yes.
Come on. Okay, so you are like ready with your front end application or not simply. Got the point, everyone? Come on.
Yes.
Okay then. Now what you have to do? You are only front end engineer. You are only the back end engineer, right? Shall we create? Shall we go to the back end application? Shall we create one simple endpoint? Yes or no? Shall we do it? So my front end application is running on which port number? Localhost 51. Come on, localhost 5174 is the one. Okay. Now let's go to our backend application. So let's close everything. Okay, now go to the server application or not. Yes or no? Now, if you open this one in the package.json, okay. Now see this, which library is used? NestJS Common, NestJS Core, and Platform Express internally, and RxJS also used for listeners and all. These are the dependencies, and these are what? Dev dependencies or not. Yes or no. So if you open, okay, tests, this is like to write the tests, the configuration, and come to the source. Okay, this is our actual application or not. Okay, now your application is going to bootstrap from main.ts. If you see in the main.ts, your bootstrap module is what? Root module is what? App module or not? If you have environment variable port, then the time they are going to use that one. Otherwise, default port number is what? 3000, where it is running or not, your NestJS application. So my bootstrap application is what? My module. My application is going to start from which module? App module or not? Let's go to the app module. Okay. In my module, what it is integrated, your services, your controls, and everything is like integrated. Now if you see this, see this, how many controls are there? One controller is there, so that controller is like integrated here. Okay, now the next one is like how many services are there? One of the service is there. Okay, that service is like integrated here. Okay, actually whenever my client send a request, that request come, who can hold that request? My controller can hold it. My controller can hold it. Whenever you send a request, based on the controller, we are going to give the path. If matching path is there, it is navigate to that particular controller. From there, okay, irrespective subpaths, okay, it is like controller level path. In the controller, there has multiple methods, multiple functionalities we can handle. Here you can mention like a subpaths. Okay. Now my controller just receive the request and give this request to my service to perform some operations. So thus it is navigate to the service and give the response back Okay, it is like a default service and default controller they return. Whatever the controllers and services or any other modules, okay, if you write, those all are should directly or indirectly place in the app module. Why? Because your application level, this is only the root module or not. So in your root module, whatever, how many controllers you written, all the controllers, how many services you written, all the services, how many another other modules you written, other modules, everything directly or indirectly should load in the which module, indirectly or directly should load in the which module, come on, which module, app module or not. Why? Because app module is a root module, it is completely angular skeleton, understood? Got my point? Okay na? So if you want to run this application, okay, so this is my weight and come here. Now you can go to the server app, you can run npm run start. So go to the server app, can I do npm run start? Okay, now my nest started, my nest application started. In which port number? Localhost 3000 is the port number. Localhost 3000 is the port number. I didn't write any code. Just you can check. Okay, it started or not started. Now let's go to the package.json. Let's go to the package.json. Which commands are there? Build format to start. Okay, start dev is the better. Why? Because we are going to make some changes automatically. Those changes are like what? Okay, reload or not, live reloading. Npm start dev, you can go better. Npm start, npm run start dev. Okay, now next start watch. Okay, starting compilation in watch mode. Now this is done. Now localhost 3000 hello world. Why hello world? Means localhost 3000, do we have any path? Localhost 3000, do we have any path? No, na? So it is looking for the controller which is not having the path. Now let's go to the controller, okay, which is not having any path. Mentioned or not mentioned? Not mentioned. So it comes to app controller. Inside the app controller, do we have any subpath? No. So any, okay, method which is not having any subpath, yes, there. And which request method? Through browser you are able to access, means that is which request method? Get. So that get with no subpath means this method is going to execute. This method is called, okay, which, come on, which function again, which method? Get hello. That is inside where? App service. So in the app service, if you go, it's a class. If you observe here, it's a class. If you want to call a class method, how we can call? You have to create an object, yes or no? So that here through dependency injection, you are not the person to create an object. Through dependency injection, my nest people create an object for which service? App service. The object name is like what? Any name you can put, but naming convention wise you can give the same name with lowercase. Now this is an object of app service. Once you have an object, yes or no? Once you have an object, you can call any method in that particular class or not. So which method you are calling? Get hello. So get hello returns me what? String. That string written by whom? Controller. So finally my controller give the response is like what? One string. What is that string name? Hello world. Hello world. Now if you come here, now if you go Now if I refresh the page, now tell me what is my output. Hello world or not? Yes or no? Got my point? Now I want to write one endpoint to my users. Okay, for authentication purpose, I want to create one endpoint. So which libraries are required, Okay, for validations purpose, to work with MongoDB schema related and all. Okay, we have some libraries are required. CD server app. Okay, first I want to work with Mongo, so that npm install @NestJS mongoose one library is there. NestJS mongoose. Okay, and mongoose is the library. This is related to which one? This is related to Mongo. Okay, just wait. Now let's go to package.json. Okay, in my package.json, it is like loaded or not. You can check in the dependencies section. Okay, the next one is like validators. If you want to validate the data, okay, client data is nothing but whatever the data coming from the client through models. I can validate my schema, whatever you want to save in the database, that schema validation is also required. For that purpose, okay, I want to install some of the libraries for validation purpose. Npm install class validator. Okay, the next one is like class transformer. Class transformer. Class validator. The next one is like class transformer. These two libraries you can install it. These two libraries you can install it. Then now I want to create my own controller and my own service. I want to create my own controller and my own service. My controller is expecting which kind of data, that data format, the DTO, and I want to save this data within the MongoDB, that MongoDB document structure also, schema also I want to create. So for that, I want to follow one of the skeleton, something like this. This is related to users data. User. Here, I want to create one file, user controller. User controller. See, same naming convention I'm following. Controller.ts. User controller.ts. What is the next one? Controller communicate with whom? User service. Service.ts. Okay, now this is like user module. It is one more module. Just think like that. Here I want to use like user module.ts. User module.ts. I'm expecting the data from the client, right? That a data format. Okay, so data transfer object structure I want to create. So that is a DTO, data transfer object. So DTO also let's create. DTO okay, DTO object also you can create. Okay, here what is this one? User.dto.ts. The next one is like this user data I want to save where in my database, right? So for that I want to create a schema. Okay, the DB document structure is nothing but schemas. Okay, here I want to mention which schema, my user dot schema.ts. This is my actual structure. Understood? All are okay? Come on, up to here, okay or not? Up to here, okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so my Nest application is going to communicate with whom? My Nest application is going to communicate with whom?
Database.
Database, right? So make sure your DB is like up and run. So make sure your database is like up and run. I am using like Cloud Mongo. Okay, so if you want to create the Cloud Mongo, so you can go to the mongodb.com. Okay, you can create an account in the mongodb.com. I already have the account. You can create an account. Okay, I already having the account, so you can log in. You can create a project. Okay, 134.86. 134.86. Okay, remind me later. Okay, now like this you can get the basic graphic, your user interface. Now here you can create a new project. These many projects are there. You can create a new project. Once you created a project, okay, if you come here, view all the projects. Okay, these many projects are there. Let's create a new project. Okay, my workshop, okay, is my project. Now let's create. Okay, owner is logged in user. Create the project. Once you created a project, okay, my Mongo people assigned you one mission with the MongoDB installation. So create the cluster. Cluster is nothing but a group of missions work for the same cause. Create the cluster. Here you can mention, okay, free only you can take it. Your cluster name, whatever you want, you can put it. My workshop is my cluster name. I prefer like AWS service provider. Region is like Mumbai. Now create your cluster. Create the deployment. Okay. Create my cluster. Now, if you want to connect with your user, okay, DB, if you want to connect with your database, my username and password you can mention. Create the DB user. Create the DB user. Yes or no? Now you want to connect this database with the create connection method through Compass. I want to connect. So they provide you the URL. You can copy this one. Okay, now? And you can mention, go back, the IP address, current IP address. It is able to connect. For now, it's okay. Current IP address is enough for us. Now choose. Okay, Compass, right? Through Compass, I want to connect. You already copied, right? Yes. Just do done. Like this, it is like one mission created. Now, nothing is required. Just close this one. Now, open the Compass. Here, you can create a new connection. Okay, with your what? Server URL. Okay, this is my Mongo server, right? Where it is running. The name, my workshop, just save and connect. Now it is able to connect or not. Here I want to create one of the collection. Okay, my database name is like anything you can. Okay, my database name is like student management system. Here my collection is like users is my collection. Users is my collection. Done. Understood? So my DB is like up and running or not? All right, okay. My database is like up and running or not?
Yes.
Okay, then. Now you can go to your code. Now you can go to your code. Whatever you written, either controller or services or modules, any other module, where you have to keep all the modules inside the command.
That module.
Yeah, module or not. In which section modules we are going to keep inside the imports section. So my connect with Mongo is like one of the module. Okay, Mongoose module, it's a third party coming from where, NestJS Mongoose there, right? Nest Mongoose. Okay, so the module name is what? Mongoose module at the rate nest, right? The rate nest.js, right? Okay, Mongoose module. There or not there? Now this module, third party or whatever it may be, you have to register with whom? You have to register with whom? Come on. You have to register with whom?
That module.
Yeah, module or not? Modules where we are going to keep in the import section. Now here you can mention your mongoose for root, and here you can give my nest communicate with mongo server, mongo server, just you can keep it. Okay, control Z, sorry, that URL you have to mention my nest application connect with your this mongo na. So you can go here, and copy connection string, copy connection string. Now can I keep it? Understood? Up here, okay or not? Done now? Here my workshop, it's your database maybe. Okay, what is your database name? Just he suggested, I follow. Okay, my workshop is my database, right? Okay, my workshop. Inside this one SMS, that's okay, fine. Okay, we'll see. Now, done, right? Up to here, okay? Up to here, okay or not?
Yes.
Now, what is the next one? You can mention the schemas. In the schema, what you have to do? My schemas, what you have to do? Schema is nothing but your structure of your document. Structure of your document. Import document from MongoDB. Okay, from MongoDB or Mongoose? Mongoose. Yes or no? Okay, now you can create a class. Okay, a schema class. It's like a user which is extends from document. Which is extends from the document. Understood? How many fields you want me to place in the document? The document structure you can mention. How many fields you want me to? One is like name, whose type is like what? String. Next, another one is like email, whose type is string. The next one is like password, whose type is what? String or not? How we can say it is like a normal class, right? How we can say it's like a schema? with the decorator called as a schema is the decorator. What is the decorator name? Schema is the decorator. Okay. Most of the times we are going to mention the timestamp here. Timestamps you can make it like true so that you can see timestamps is like true. Understood? Up to your okay. Hmm?
Yes.
The next one is like these fields, the documents inside the properties inside the document, which are like required, okay, which are like, okay, unique, those also we can mention. So I can say this is like required. By using one more decorator, like a prop is the decorator, prop. By using prop decorator, I can mention this particular field is like a required. By using this prop, this is like a required. At the same time, the email is like a unique also you can mention. Something like this, you can set the rules for your property inside the document. You can set the rules inside the rules to the properties inside the document. Understood? Come on. Up to you, okay?
Yes.
Now, from here, you have to, okay, this one we are going to use somewhere. Okay, just you can export it. You can export this one. So actual schema you have to, okay, it is like defined, but exported schema, we are going to prepare something like this. So from the schema factory, okay, schema factory, create for class, just you can mention like user. Okay, you can go with this user schema factory create for users. Just you can delete this. Okay, this is your actual schema. Directly, this schema only we are going to place in your MongoDB collection. Okay, here you created the structure of your document. You created like a structure of your document. Each and every document contains how many properties? Every document contains how many properties? At the same time, each and every property with what kind of rules you want me to. Okay, these are the things you have to mention in the schema. Understood? Schema is always represents the structure of your database object. That means the structure of your document. Okay, the DB which data you want to store, that data structure it is going to represent by using schemas. Now it's like a MongoDB, that's like that there isn't document used. Sometimes it's like something else, another DB. Then the time also we are going to create the schema, the structure of your DB database row. If it is like SQL, the row schema we are going to mention. This is the one. The next one is like data transfer object is what? What is the data transfer object? DTO, the data which is coming from your front end. That front end data structure we can mention by using DTO. Okay, so you can write a class user DTO. What you are going to mention? What you are going to mention? I want to mention the name whose type is like string, email whose type is like string, and password whose type is like string or not. If you want to give some validations from the backend, okay, we have the class validator is there, right? So here we have the decorator called as a is email is the decorator, okay, which is coming from class validator. Import is email. Is email from class validator. Understood? Come on. Why it is expected 2 arguments. Okay, coming like 0. Okay, that one is, you can write like export. Now here what string, the name should be some data. Okay, it should be is not empty is there. Is not empty, which is coming from here. Is not empty. The next one is like, okay, password. You can give, okay, at the rate, for example, minimum length equals to 6. Okay, these validations you are going to write in your front end, as well as we are going to check in the back end also. Understood? Okay. Got my point? We are going to set the value, then the time this issue can resolve. We'll see that. The next part is what? Come on. What is my next? Or we can go with the next one. Or we can go with the next one. Tell me how we can go with the next one. Schema and DTO is done. The next one is what? Shall we go with the controller? Can anyone guess how the controller looks like? Controller. How the controller looks like? Come on. Let's go to the controller. If you observe, all are like classes only. Okay, na? Class. User. User controller. User controller. You can export this class. Done. Now it's like a normal class. When it is turned to like a controller by using one of the decorator called as what? Controller decorator. One of the decorator called as control Z. Import the controller which is coming from where NestJS come. Okay, now you can write @controller. Okay, @controller. Okay, na? @controller. Now see, localhost 3000/users. Then the time it is hit this controller or not? It is going to hit this controller. Okay, what is the next one? In the class, what we have usually, come on. In the class, what we have usually, class is a collection of variables, methods or not. So you can create one method, save user, for example. Okay. Now this method has to execute. Okay, na? So when localhost 3000/user is nothing but it comes to the user controller, and this one has to execute. Okay. With save user is nothing but what is the request method? What is the request method? Save user means what is the request method? Post is the request method or not? Yes or no? So post, you can write user, just give one more subpath save. Tell me this method, if you want to execute, the URL is http localhost 3000, then that time it comes to your application, User, it comes to your controller. Save, it comes to your controller method or not. Save user, yes or no. Now
Yes.
this save user is expecting some data, right? Yes or no. Okay, through what? Through request body. So the body, okay, I'm expecting the data through request body. Now tell me the data. Which data? You are expecting the data in which format? In which format you are expecting the data? Come on. In which format you are expecting the data? You have the
JSON.
DTO. In the backend, the client data you are expecting with your DTO or not? Yes or no? Import user DTO or not? Whose my body type should be? My
User
body
detail.
type should be user DTO or not? My body type should be user DTO or not. See, I'm expecting the data through request body hold with this variable whose type is like user DTO. If you go to the user DTO, the user DTO contains what? See, name, email, password. Yes or no? Come on, up to here, okay? Now this user DTO data, to whom you want me to give? Let's give it to the service. Yes or no? This user DTO data, let's give it to the service. So can we create one service? Now this is my service. All or like what? Classes only, right? So can I create one service? User service. How you can say this is like a service? If it is like a controller, controller is there. If it is like a service, how we can mention? Okay, using one of the decorator called as a injectable. What is the decorator? Injectable. Okay, why? Because we are going to, through dependency injection only, we are going to create an object most of the times. That the reason the decorator name is like what? Injectable or not. Understood, everyone? Come on. Now here you can create a class, right? You can create one method. You can create one method. Okay, now you can create one method. That method is expecting user's data whose type is like user DTO. So import user DTO. Now this method I want to call from where? This method I want to call from where? Tell me. This method I want to call from where?
From controller.
From your controller or not? Yes or no? If you want to call a method from the class, okay, inside the class, then you have to create an object for that particular class or not? Yes or no? So that you can go to the controller, I want to create an object for this particular class. So how we can create an object? First you can get the service, user service. You can get the user service. It is like exported with default or without default. Okay, now you can create an object through dependency injection. Now you can call user service dot save user. Now you have to pass your user's DTO data or not. Done, na? Now whatever my service is going to return, that data can you return to whom? That data can you return to whom? To my client or not? So you can return to the client. Yes or no? You can return to the client. Understood? So my controller is okay. You created like a service. In the service, what you have to mention? In the service, what you have to mention? In the service, what you have to mention?
Actual.
Okay, your MongoDB related stuff or not? Now, controllers and services and schemas, DTO, everything you return. So somewhere you have to configure all these things or not. Yes or no? Directly or indirectly, everything should under app module, right? I don't want to go and place all these things like app module. Okay, simply I want to keep everything in my own module and keep that module inside the app module. That means indirectly inside the app module only or not? Yes or no? Understood? So shall we create one more class is like what? User, come on, user module. So class user module. Okay, this module where you want me to register, this user module where you want me to register, can you guess? In the root module, app module or not? Yes or no? Now how we can say it is like a module? By using one of the decorator called as module is the decorator. What is my decorator name? Module only the decorator. Understood? Yes or no? Got my point? Okay, mongoose module, user controller, user service, so user schema, everything has to place here only or not? Yes or no? So how we can mention the module? The module, okay, imports used for what? Imports are used for what? Come on, imports are used for what? Keep the modules. Okay, mongoose module we registered. Mongoose module we registered with the schemas or not? With the schemas. The next one is like controller. Which controller? User control. The next one is like services. In the provider section, we are going to mention the service. So finally, all are like directly or indirectly. Okay, all are like placed inside the user module. Now this user module, where you want me to keep? In the app module or not? So here, can I put my user module? Yes or no? Can I put my user module? So that is coming from where? Coming from my user module or not? See, everything directly or indirectly placed in my app module. My bootstrap module is what to your application? The bootstrap module is what to your application? App module only or not? Yes or no? Come on. Now, shall we go with the next one is what? User service. Now here you can write your actual code. Here you can write your actual code. First of all, from the registration purpose, okay, you have this data, right? This data you have to mention inside. Come on, you have to mention inside. Tell me. You have to mention inside.
DTO.
User DTO is there already. You have to keep where?
DB.
In the DB or not? You have to save in the DB or not? Yes or no? For that purpose, we have the, come on, we have the model. Okay, you can create a DB model. So import, okay, injectable model. The next one is like import model. The next one is like schema. Okay. Now in the constructor, just we are going to create an object for what? Your model or not. Okay. Now in the model, whatever you have the data, that data you pass to this model, and you can save that one, and you can save this one. Okay. It's like a simple, okay, 2 lines of code. That's it. You have the DTO. Okay. We have the model. Okay, whose type is like what? You create an object for model. Okay, which kind of model? The user model. See, user already we created like a schema, right? Okay, this kind of model only we are expecting the data or not. This is like a data model, what we are going to say within the database. Now come to this service. Where is this? Yeah. The next one is like what? Okay, once you have the user module, okay, user model, sorry, user model. Okay, what here doing? Okay, you pass your data as like a parameter, whatever you are passing from the client. and okay, you can save this data. Okay, this user coming from where? This user, it is an object of your model. In the model we have, okay, one method is there, save is the method. Okay, just you can save it. Understood? Okay, now the save returns me what? In which format it is saving the data? This save
Promise.
returns me in the promise, right? Yes or no? If it is written as promise, then the time, okay, you have to wait, right? Can we wait? You can get the success data or not. Can I write await, okay, constant response? If you have a await, okay, na, it should be async and return the response. Okay, who call this save user? Controller. So this is constant, my response or result, you have to await. You have to await. That's all. Now finally you can get the result, you can send it back. So this is async, you can done. That's all. Hmm?
Yes.
So any other? Shall we check now? Will it work or not work? Okay, how you want me to test it? How you want me to test it? Using, can I go with the postman? Can I go with the postman? Yes. First of all, will it gives any error or not? Can you go and check here? Will you get any error? This is only the one, right? There is no error. That's okay, fine. Now go to the postman. Localhost 3000 only, na? The request method is post, right? Here, user, user, come here, go to user controller, user, and save. Save. Through request body, okay, JSON, name is like n1. The next one, email, @gmail.com. The next one is like password, it's like something like this. If you send a request to the server, okay, name and email and ID created, and you added like timestamps also, right? So that created yet and updated yet also generated. If you go and check the users, if you refresh, okay, it's like create, okay, refresh the database. Now we are created like a test, we not mentioned, okay, that's the reason. See here it's like created or not. Okay, now this test by default it's like taking, right? Just you have to change this one to your database name and all. Okay, we'll tell that one. So here the users, come on, the users is my collection and my test is like what? Your DB or not? Users is my collection and my test is like your database. Yes or no? If you want to mention your own database and all, how to mention? I will tell. Okay, once it is done, okay, I'll come back. Once it is done, what you have to do the next step? First, complete that flow. Once it is done, what you have to do the next step is what? What is our next level step? If it is like working as expected from the back end, what you have to do? From the back end, it is working as expected. What is the next level step? Hmm? Hmm. If it is working as expected, what is our next level step? You have to consume this endpoint from your front end or not. You have to consume this endpoint from your front end or not. Yes or no? Yeah, you state Aditya, you don't know about React, right? Okay, I missed your questions. Huh? So that just wait. Okay, whenever you come to know about React, okay, then that time it is easy for you to understand. Okay. Now, once you have this endpoint details and everything, now you can send a request to the server and get the response or not. So what change you have to do? Come on. You can go to your front end application. You can go to your front end application. Where is this? This is the one. Go to user. Go to user.tsx and post. This is my URL and this is my data or not. Now here you can write console.log of your response success. Here failure response and finally task completed. Hmm? Now you can consume this through your front end application now. Now inspect this. Okay. Name is like yes2, yes2@gmail.com, and password is like something this, where we can track the request and responses. Where we can track the request and responses from the network. Now, if I click on the submit, one request go to the server and it gives an error. Why? Because, okay, it's a kind of which error? Come on. Localhost 3000 user error connection refused. Is there any? Okay. Did you mention like course error anywhere? Error connection refused. Is my server stopped or what? Can you check it? No, no. If you come here, the pre-flight request is like what? Gone, right? Yes, sir. Okay. Can we handle course? How to handle course? Hmm? How to enable the course? In your application level, you have to enable it or not. So, where my application is going to start actually in my, come on, my server application. In my server application, in the main.ts, okay, you have to enable the course or not. Yes or no? So how we can enable the course? Application level. You already created an application app.enable course. App.enable course. Can we do something like this? Okay. Now, once it is like enabled, can you send a request again from your front end? Now, if I click on the submit, now if you do see this, you can see your data is like saved successfully or not. Now, If you go here, if I refresh the page, now there has one more record inserted or not. Yes or no? Got my point? So from front end, your application, yeah, okay, here no need to install. By default have that app, okay, course future, just you have to call that one. Okay, in the express we are going to use like course module, right? But here directly in the application, just you can enable the course. Understood? Agreed? So okay, overall, whenever you click on the front end React, what you did, you created a template, okay, with your business requirement. You taken the data. Once you have the data, whenever you click on the register button, you send a request to the server using anxious to the URL and method and a request data format. In the backend, what you did, you created one nest application. You created like a DTO schemas, controllers, services, and everything. And these controllers and services, okay, and you registered in the module. That module you registered in the app module or not? Yes or no? Got my point? So now once my request go to the server, means controller, in the controller class one method is going to execute it. That method call your service class method. In the service class method, you save, okay, you written the code to save your data or not? Yes or no? Which data? Which data? Come on. Which data? Your client, whatever the data sent. Yes or no? Agreed? Up to here, okay or not? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is like one simple end-to-end application. Okay, the same way you can write one more endpoint to retrieve the data, to update the data, to delete the data. This kind of requirement you can do it. Okay, so tomorrow, okay, it's like a long session. That's okay. Tomorrow, this one, okay, this one we can replace with Angular, and this one we can replace with Python, Fast API, MongoDB. Okay, just attend. You can get some, okay, process you can come to know. Yes or no? Whether you know or not, don't worry. Just you can come to know the process or not. Yes or no? Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay, then just practice this one. Okay, tomorrow. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask and we can continue. And the test DB and everything is there, right? Can you try from your end how you can give your own database and own collection?